Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new video by TOI Auto, and today we have with us Mr. Uday Narag. He is the founder and chairman of Omega Seiki Mobility, and we have him with us for a little while to give us some valuable information about their organization and about their new product, the Vicktor. Mr. Narang, thank you so much for joining us today. It feels great to have you.
Good evening, and I'm really excited to have you here at one of our headquarters.
The first question is obviously regarding your new product, the Vicktor. You already have a lot of electric three-wheelers. Their range was close to the 120 kilometer, in a single charge, but now it's gone up to 250 kilometers, and you've tested it also. So that's a big leap. It's almost, more than twice of what you used to offer. So what was the, the inspiration, the driving factor behind this new product?
Look, I think what's interesting to us, OSM has always taken challenges. And I think, we have been working, we had a customer who said they needed 200 kilometers. We have fixed, we have fast charging, we have swap. We are coming up with something else also in a 15-minute charge. But I think this is what was produced because, OSM is always looking for solutions. So customers said, we want a 200 plus range. So we went back to the drawing board. Vicktor was something that took quite some time. It's been almost 2 years of testing, working out. We felt, we've talked about building the world's largest factory, which we are going to be doing. From Delhi to Jaipur or to places where it's never been done. See, the two-wheeler is continually the three-wheeler is continually changing the way logistics is happening. Not here, but all over the world. We had requirements from Egypt. We had requirements from Indonesia for longer range because there are places where the charging infrastructure is not there. So, this was something that took us time. It took us a challenge. Vicktor came across, and it's been very, very hard work. We failed many times. We came back. I'm a big Muhammad Ali fan, and if you knock me down, I'll come back. We heard about somebody doing 130, 140, and we said, no, we're gonna do 200 plus, and it's done 250. We're really excited about it. We're gonna make sure we're gonna offer it to different players. We think there is a market for this, and again, it shows OSM is a technology player. I'm proud to say even today, my new, Stream and Stream City have been approved by AirAI. So the passenger is also ready to go. So, we keep coming out with new products.
Amazing, amazing. So coming back to the product, getting, that kind of range out of this, what kind of effort went into it, or if you could, tell us how you made that happen on a technical level, what all changes you did, or what all areas did you look at, where there could be improvement?
Look, this was something that was a very, very big technical challenge. We wanted to make sure the battery range was there. We wanted to make sure that the powertrain, the motors, the efficiency, the structure of the vehicle, the durability of the vehicle, because it's going to run longer ranges. We completely redesigned, restructured. We continually gave our R&D teams many times they went in, they went locally. We're building powertrains with our JV in Korea that's going to be coming here. So they went down to Korea, looked at the structure, brought it back. We redesigned everything. So the whole vehicle has been redesigned. We are going to come up with a version Rage 2.0 that is out there, Rage 3.0, which is even going to be further. So we are continuously changing technically, motor, powertrain, battery, brakes, the whole system has been relooked, and you will see a much more. See, now that we've been able to achieve this, we are going to come up with a new product, and hopefully we're going to be able to showcase that to you at the auto show in very shortly in next year.
Okay, perfect, amazing. And you mentioned that there was a demand for more than 200 kilometers of range in this product. So I'm assuming you already have a few customers. If you could tell us if
there's a lot of last mile play. We've had huge amount of interest from the likes of e-commerce companies, but this is also for logistic companies. I don't know if you know, we have got a new company called we have a new thing called Auto Express, where transportation of automotive parts Omega has got 14 factories around this country alone. And what it does is, we have parts manufacturing, transport of parts, steel. Our factories are using this already. And so we are testing this real time. We have been approached. See, everybody's talking about just the e-commerce companies or the food companies. There is so much other demand. Milk companies, curd companies in the South. So the demand is, we feel, we've got an order book or over close to 10,000 on this vehicle.
My next question is about the vehicle's availability. By when can interested players get their hands on the Vicktor?
I think we believe by November 1st, they can, if people put the orders now, we can give the vehicle from November 1st. We would like to do it right around Diwali, but I think we want to make sure. See, for us, it's always been, let's make sure we're running a marathon, not a sprint. I said that to you before. And I think OSM is here to change mobility, and this is dedicated to the mobility. I think also we are going to use this for the farm in the rural India. We're coming up with multiple products on the rural area. Vicktor is part of that. There is going to be, because charging infrastructure in rural is a bit of a difficulty. And some of the cities, tier 3, tier 4 cities, if we can give this solution, and if a person is comfortable, they might not use 250, but they know I got 150, 170, they're comfortable. We're the only electric company that is exporting vehicles right now. We are exporting to Indonesia. We're exporting to bigger parts of, we're in Tanzania. We are in Egypt. We are in GCC. I'll be interested to say, we are in Latin America. We are exporting vehicles to the United States in the parks. So look, these vehicles are not just made. I mean, we are talking a lot about, local, vocal for local, make in India. We are saying make in India for the global market. And that is, I think the administration at the top continually shows. They're talking about a silent revolution that, this past weekend in Gujarat. We are part of that silent revolution already, and new products will continually come. Vicktor is one of many.
Okay, amazing. You already answered my question about exports, but you also touched upon, how the charging infrastructure is still not at that optimal level. You are already doing your part. You are, as you said, part of the silent evolution. You have a product with swappable batteries. You now have a product with a long 250-kilometer range. But what do you think, what kind of steps do you think the government or other players in the market should take in setting up the infrastructure so that this EV revolution can happen, at an accelerated rate?
Couple of things. We're all about, I'm the biggest, I am very, very about alliances. Global, internal. And if you see our track record, there isn't a person in this country, there isn't a startup that wants to develop that I'm not working with. This is extremely, extremely important to know. So we think that, the charging infrastructure needs to be developed. We also have done our part. We started with OSM E-Link. We have alliances. We will build alliances with all the players. A charging company who I believe setting up charging is Quench. They're based out of Pune. Ravin is a friend, does fantastic work. There are other partners. We will align. We've aligned with Log9. We have aligned with multiple players. But in the charging infrastructure, we think an alliance. But we have to have charging homogeneity. We cannot have different chargers for different. See, this is something where the government needs to enforce certain policies where, anybody can use anybody's charger. And we have to have some, there has to be a combined nationally, internationally. There is movement there. I keep saying, we can't ask don't always ask what the government can do for you. Do what you can. And I think OSM is doing that. I will go nationally and locally. If you look at what I've been traveling extensively, nationally, internationally. And I want to make sure that all the alliances from Korea, from Japan, from Israel, from Thailand, and from anywhere in the world, from the United States, they come to, one thing is clear with me, it has to be made in India. I am Indian to the core. For me, this is a real mission. To be able to change. If we want to build the ecosystem, we've got to build the charging. We've got to build the batteries. We've got to do everything. And one more thing, we can have the PLI schemes, we can have FAME2, but we have to have financing of vehicles. This is extremely important. See, it's an idea of working and building the ecosystem. I want to tell to all of your, all the young men and women, all the, startups out there, work together as a team. This is not a competition. We can all win. And the winner will be India. I'm not trying to be a political, but for me, India comes first. And we have to do this. We have to do this for your kids and the kids' kids. This is extremely important.
And you touched upon, how there has to be a unified charging, scheme. In the budget, it was proposed that, there should be like a unified battery standard for swapping. Do you think instead, had they decided on a unified charging slot, that would have been much better compared to deciding on batteries? Because swappable batteries is still something you can do on a smaller product easily, but on a bigger product, you still need to charge it using like a cable.
You're absolutely right. I think everything, nothing is perfect. Right? I think the government, I'm the first one, if you've asked me questions before, I'm not going to complain. I think this government has done a phenomenal, whether it's the central government or the state. I have never seen in our history of this country how much support there is on the EV. I see Prime Minister Modi, I see Transport Minister, doing so much on this. I think there has to be, like you clearly said, on the trucks and on many other places, swap one. I think swap is a solution, but we've got to start somewhere. And I think this is a start. I think this year, next year, and the year forward, I keep saying this to you, when the Prime Minister talks about silent revolution, it means we, India, are going for it. I'll be honest, I talk to the Europeans and Americans. They are sleeping. It's going to be the United States and China. I don't know who's going to be the EV. The third largest market is India. I am reaching out to all the international players. Don't forget this market. You will miss out.
Talking about revolution, talking about innovation, which you've clearly brought, tell us a little about, if you could give us some exclusive information on what your plans are for the future, for the coming days. Do you have, will we see, let's say, more vehicles with like longer range, or any other new segments that you plan to venture into?
You're too smart. I'm going to get trouble, but I will share. We are coming up with a product for rural India, which is called Mopedo, which is made. See, these vehicles, and I'm not going to name, but 1.5 lakh, and 2 lakh. This is not India, right? India wants a product, good, robust quality product in the 60 to 80 or 50 to 70,000 range. We are coming up for products for rural India. For me to be able to build this ecosystem, those 125 crore भाइयों बहनों के बीच में उनके लिए product बनाने हैं. This is not for all city bucks like you and me. It's for rural India. So we are coming up with two-wheeler, which is called Mopedo, which is coming out very shortly. We are coming up with two-wheelers in cargo. But the one thing, you see our trucks, we got the 1-ton truck coming, which can beat everybody. You've got the 3.5-ton truck, which is moving around this country. Hopefully you'll get some time to see it and review it, which has been fantastic with everybody. I've got a 6.5-ton truck, which I'm taking to Saudi for the long distances. Range has to be there. I will tell you today, 2 years from now, we ain't gonna be talking range. 500 kilometers on vehicles is gonna be normal, right? The technology is moving towards that. It's just not just LFP, NMC, zinc air, aluminum air. So many different things are coming about. We're also coming up with tractors. I have been trading, I've been getting my R&D centers test tractors in all sorts of soils, and I think the agriculture sector is ripe. And we need to make sure, and tractors for service, for hire. See, our farms are small. The current tractors are too big. If you look at our farm side, they're small, and the tractor is too expensive. So if I can provide you a zip or some of these people that offer for service, that's what we're gonna. That will help the farmer. I want to help the farmer, the rural India, because if you can make a change in the rural India, you save them money. They can spend on their education for their children. They can spend education. They do the health. Look, if we can give education, health to all of our rural India, and by electrification we can change that. It is not only about OSM. It is not only about building electric. It's building the whole ecosystem. Tomorrow it's going to be hydrogen. Thereafter there might be another technology. The point is, I am working with EVs and UAVs together. So drone and EVs. For the agriculture pesticide, we are working. See, one of the biggest problems with drivers today, attrition, who deliver, is they are tired of delivering bags up the floor. So we're working on EVs, which will deliver on each floor. So we want to use drones, we want to use EVs, we want to be able to bring, hopefully, 5 years from now, you and me are traveling in my EV taxi, so we don't have to bother about this traffic. So instead of taking an Ola and Uber, you are taking an Ola and Uber of an electric taxi. So I want to continually work to disrupt this market. Tomorrow, today and tomorrow, you're seeing all the big boys and girls come into the EV. 2-3 years ago, it wasn't the case. Now everybody says, there is, Bajaj, TVS, Mahindra, Tata. This is beautiful. See, for me, what I see is this will help the startups, it will help the incumbents, and the competition will be there. Who will win? You will win. The consumers will win. The public will win. And for me, that is payoff. I will be standing. I think OSM is going to be a leader, but I'll be out there rooting for anybody that makes this country greener and more energy. We need to reduce energy dependence. Our foreign exchange reserves need to be, so we have solar working in this ecosystem, building this. This is a chance. And I think with the youth, with people like yourself and all these other people, young men and women, we have a chance to build. And I hope when I'm old and I'm in my wheelchair, you guys are all leading the way. And that'll give me a lot of pleasure.
Amazing, amazing. So looks like a lot of good things for OSM and for all of us in the future. Thank you, Mr. Narang, as always, for giving us your time, your energy. And if you're wondering about the OSM Vicktor 3-wheeler, then we have a video on our channel. Make sure that you go and watch that also. For now, this is us. Please do like this video if you like the information, if you liked our interaction, and do subscribe if you have not done yet. Thank you for watching.